The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered! 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Monday, boys and girls. How are you? Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Sorry we're on a little bit late, but proxy business takes precedent. We told you guys as we hit the summertime months, there may be some later start times, earlier start times too for Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault. Live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. Same on Twitter, X, replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159. Are you wearing the Yankee stuff just to piss me off? What's going on? Why are you wearing the Yankee stuff today, Dave?
They're the best team in baseball. Didn't you know? I mean,
are they? Really? Are they?
It's the last hope. Do you remember in Star Wars when I believe it was Princess Leia in that video out of R2-D2 said, "You're our last hope. You're our only hope." The Yankees.
I was going to save this stat for later in the show, but since you're talking about this, we're going to bring this out right now. This might be the most beautiful stat of 2024.
Oh, wait a second. You're going to hit them with this first?
New York has now gone 100 combined seasons without winning a title. A C note. It's the longest in the history of the city in professional sports.
Oh, my goodness.
How'd you like to be like a 20-something-year-old right now, knowing your city has sucked for basically your whole life when everyone else around you has talked about how great the Yankees are and how great the Rangers have been, how great New York sports have been?
Oh, boy.
Number one media market. Everyone wants to play in New York, I thought, right? Everybody wants to play. It's Broadway. Everybody wants to be with the Yankees.
Didn't you hear? I think LeBron's going to go there and finish his career.
Please go there. Please go to the Knicks.
Plays good in MSG. It is the Mecca.
Tank that franchise too, please. That'd be great.
Whoa.
Love him and what? So Brunson's not on the ball? Great. You're taking your best player off the ball.
This is nice. Yankees emblem. I love that Yankee emblem. But it's so
last title was how long ago? The Yankees' last title is what, 2008, right? So you're talking about,
oh boy,
you're getting close to being able to vote. Since the last time the Yankees won a championship in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, since you were born. Yeah.
So 18. We're getting close here.
I mean, first of all, let's just circle back. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Okay. Everybody roots against the New York teams that isn't from New York. New York stinks. Put how you feel about the New York teams in the chat right now. The show is very interactive. It's the first official day of the rest of the summer as far as sports goes. I saw you lamenting on the Twitter about the sports schedule stinks today. It's all baseball, baby.
Stinks. So, bless you. Stinks.
It's nothing to sneeze at. All right. Baseball's nothing to sneeze at. We got a great softball game on that. Please keep me abreast of what's going on. I have it on. Oklahoma's playing Florida. We got Women's College World Series. We got women's sports. Got a lot of things to talk about today.
Yeah.
May not just be specific, but this New York thing, Ranger fans, you were this close. You were this close.
Were they? Were they really this close?
I would argue they're the second best team of the four.
In hockey?
I would argue they would have beaten
that, and a bag
Western
of chips get you a snack. That's great.
It was fun.
Sure.
It was good. Igor did everything but score. He did everything he could but score. And for Ranger fans everywhere, Brooklyn Joe, I'm sorry. I had to have a session with Brooklyn Joe yesterday. He said, Davey, I handed the cup to Messier. He was on the ice. Brooklyn Joe was on the ice when they won it.
1994.
He gets so excited every year. And he goes to me yesterday, and I'm just going to preface this with sorry, Will, because I took all the money today as the no for swearing first. So I'm going to give you people who bet that every day, because we got people that bet that every day, P-Roll. Who swears first, me or you?
Okay.
Will, sorry. Brooklyn Joe said they never fucking win a game 5. They never win a game 5, Dave. I can't remember the last time the Rangers won a game 5. And they didn't win game 5 at home. They didn't have a shot at game 6, did they? It was close, but it felt like it was losing 5-1. It was only 2-1. But sorry, New York. But hey, the Yankees, they look good.
It's June 3rd.
They just swept the Giants. They come back. Soto shuffle. He's doing his thing. All that other stuff, right? Judge is the MVP candidate. He's going to win it all.
June 3rd.
Oh, boy.
June 3rd.
Hey.
Doesn't matter what the Yankees are doing. It's June 3rd. Long way to go.
That is the date today.
And they're not better than the Dodgers.
Oh,
they're not better. I mean, in the American League, I'm not so sure they're better. They're better right now, but will they be better than the Orioles at the end of the year? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know if they're the best team. I mean, I think that there's a lot. The Braves are a team to have to be reckoned with and talked about. And, they're going to get healthy and get their pitchers back, even though they're not going to get Acuna back, but they're going to get their pitchers back.
Right.
Braves are going to be a very big contender. I mean, it's great to win the American League. We're not talking about winning the American League. Can you win the World Series?
Well, at least at this point, we got to just get to the ALCS.
Okay. I think that's very possible for them to get there, but God, the Orioles will sweep them in a DS. Be great. I'll be all in on it. It'll be phenomenal. I just think you have to be very careful with the New York teams and with the Yankees for that matter, because if Aaron Judge gets hurt again, then what happens?
Wow. If Aaron Judge gets hurt again, what happens? I think they can withstand an Aaron Judge injury a little bit
coming.
More this year.
I mean, we know it's going to happen.
I don't think so.
It's going to happen. No matter how long he's out.
Aaron Judge shout out at the top of the show, by the way. I want to shout out my guy, Ivan, who helped me get this Yankee sweatshirt because I didn't have this. I just added this to the arsenal yesterday. I want to shout out Tyler and his friends in town from Knoxville who said they were going to watch the show today. They were out shopping for bathing suits yesterday because Tyler's running in a circle of people that he says he's in Vegas and he got a day off of playing poker. So he's knocked out of the tournament. These two people get on a plane in Knoxville and said, we'll come hang out with you for the day in Vegas, maybe 2 days. They went right from work to the airport, didn't bring nothing.
Oh, so they had to go shopping. Okay.
Pick up some bathing suits and who knows what else. But I saw them all yesterday down at Caesars and then cycle back to signing someone up for the Brigade Proxy Service. My guy will refer to him as A. He said my first initial I go by, everybody knows me as A. Came out from California and signed up 5 survivors yesterday down at Circa. So he came in, he said he brought his buddies with him. I got a tremendous history lesson about Vietnam and Thailand and all these things. And I hope, and I mean, I told him your first order of business is get to Thanksgiving. All you got to do is get to Thanksgiving. He had one entry last year survive until week 16. And he said, when we lost, I really couldn't breathe afterward. Like he got all the way to week 16. So I said, hopefully you get that far again. A will be on the show. He already offered his services.
100%.
So
let's go.
That's it. Just want to get all those out at the beginning.
Tremendous. So you're the baseball guy of the show, obviously.
Yeah.
What is your opinion? What is your ruling on cosmic baseball? Can't put the video on, but I'm going to give you a picture of it. I asked you on Twitter. If we ask you here, this is black light baseball, cosmic baseball, something we've never seen before in anywhere. The Tri-City Chili Peppers, a college summer team in the Coastal Plain League, unveiling this new thing called cosmic baseball under a black light, meaning glowing bats, ball, bases, uniforms, everything. Everything's all black lighted out. And we saw it for the first time over the weekend.
Yeah.
You a fan? You like it? Is it gimmicky and dumb? Where are you on cosmic baseball?
Can you see the ball?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so as far as playing it,
I mean, this highlight was unbelievable. This highlight was a guy lacing a single to right center. Right fielder picked it up and threw the guy out at second base trying to score. Play at the plate. The thing that's weird, okay, I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not, but there is a pitching screen like you see in BP.
Oh, yeah, you got to have an L screen. You could get seriously injured.
So
did you see Ranger Suarez take that shot back to the mound in the daylight?
That sucked. Knocked him out. They won, luckily, but I was like, there goes my bet.
That's right. We were doing a show on Sports Grid, and we talked about liking the Phillies that day. They ended up winning comfortably, but not because of Ranger Suarez. He got knocked out of the game in the second inning, and I haven't heard anything yet other than it's a bruise. Took a shot back in the pitching arm. Can you imagine in cosmic baseball?
Is the screen live?
Yeah, it has to be.
The screen's live. So if I lace a shot off the screen, you can pick it up and throw me out.
Yes, sir.
Well, that sucks.
What do you mean? That's what we do in BP. Like with the kids, we pitch behind the screen, but when we try to simulate a live scrimmage,
it's not live.
Well, I know, but like my first order of business is, can the players see the ball? I can't have anybody getting hurt doing this.
They can see the ball. Yeah.
If somebody could get hurt doing this, then I'm not in favor of this.
No, they can see the ball. I mean, the highlight we saw was pretty cool. Is at a kid's birthday party.
Chevy P. I mean, right? Like, I don't know. Would you pay money to go see this? Like if they had this at the Aviator Ballpark?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah, it'd have to be like a Savannah Bananas type of game, though. It couldn't be like a real baseball game. I don't want to see a real game, but if you give me like a bunch of cool things happening in the stands and different entertainment things going on, then yeah, I'd watch it.
I don't know. I'd have to see it in person. I'd have to ask the kids. Like I'd go with the kids. Cosmic bowling is the best, Whitrock. You're absolutely right. Cosmic bowling, it destroys it at the
Have you ever golfed here under the lights?
Yes.
I have too. It's fun.
I don't like it.
Oh, I think it's super fun. It's unique. I think it's really cool.
I mean, I used to do it in Pittsburgh as a kid when I was learning how to play golf. And when you're not good at golf, it's really hard because you don't hit it within the parameters of the lights, it's gone. Bye-bye. Like when you go to Angel Park, you could go in that brush and look for it and encounter wildlife.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't see the wildlife. They can see you.
Let the ball go.
No, they just let it go. So you got to be somewhat good to do it.
The bowlers don't like cosmic bowling.
Well, I mean, listen, our friend Otto's like a professional bowler disguised as a girl dad. That's what, I mean, the professional bowlers don't like anything.
No.
Anything that would mess up their line of vision, their ability to read the oil, which ball do I throw? My strike ball, my spare ball, my straight ball. I mean, these bowlers bring bowling bag to the lanes. They got 3-4 balls. Wow, that would be insanely tough to umpire, Joe the Fat Panda.
Right?
Well, you could always say I didn't see it.
Right. I didn't see it. Sorry. I didn't see it.
It wasn't lit up. I didn't see it. So the bases are lit. The bat's lit.
Everything's lit. Oh, yeah. Bat's lit. Oh, yeah. Everything that you see.
What is the texture of the baseball?
It's just dunked in like paint. It's all black light. So the baseball probably is a little bit more slick than normal. But look, players' uniforms, bats, umpires, bases, plates, everything is all black light. They put black lights on all the lights, on all the big overhead spotlights.
Like everything else, I think I'd have to go see it once. Now I don't know if I'd go back. I'd love to play it once and see. I mean, might be tough playing third base.
Addison.
Cosmic brownies are good. Addison's in a different planet. There's no question. I mean, we catch Addison a little bit later in the day. I have no idea what this wrench might say in the chat. Right?
It's
Morning
tremendous.
shoots are done. Pictures, good.
Yeah, Covey, I'm very traditional too, but night golf is really fun. I like night golf a lot. It's I'm actually really excited to go and play it because it's a par 3. So if I could ever get my daughter into playing golf, that's where I'd want to take her, is Angel Park. And that's the under the lights thing. So it might be a cool sell to her of like, hey, we'll go play golf, but not only will we go play golf at a par 3, we'll go play golf at night under the lights.
You got to do the golf camp at Angel Park. We did that with the kids. They go, they give them big clubs, big oversized balls, and they teach them the game a little bit with success. The problem with learning how to golf when you stink at the beginning is it's very discouraging.
Right. Yeah.
So they do this golf camp for kids. It's awesome.
Huh. All right. Madeline's at skating camp this week. So maybe that would be a 2025 summer. Convince her. She's not down on it. Like I've tried really hard to like convince her of golf, and she's very much like, no. So I'm like, come on.
I mean, for the kids, golf is boring.
If you're playing, it's not boring. If you're watching it, it's boring. But if you're not playing it, I mean, Dave, come to my daughter's figure skating class. You want to talk about boring? Holy mother of God. Like I literally am like, oh, okay, stay awake. It's the most boringest thing ever. She's skating in circles. Like, literally. Yeah. That's all she's doing.
Got to get reps.
Oh boy. I've been through some torturous things in my life, but figure skating practice is up there. It is up there.
I did it all. Everybody thinks it's easy being a parent. It's hard being a parent because a lot of your days are spent watching your kid do these things where you're like,
why? Why?
Okay.
She loves it, though.
And like you sitting still for 45 minutes and not doing anything or not being entertained is tough.
Well, I put games on my phone, so it's not.
Well, I know that.
I on the boards, I put my phone, I put the game that I'm watching on, and then I watch her watch the game, watch the game. So she she thinks I'm taping her.
Underscore the Atom. There you go. Underscore the Atom. We're not getting a figure skating sponsorship. There goes that. Thank you very much.
Sucks. Too bad.
It's Olympic year. What are you doing?
My mom used to make me watch figure skating as a kid as a punishment.
Figure skating was fun to watch.
It is?
In the Olympics?
Like what? Like when we were clubbing each other and knocking each other out? Like when was it fun to watch figure skating?
You didn't like watching figure skating? Give the boys and girls something to vote on right now.
Okay. This is
legitimate. Like watching figure skating? Yes or no?
Oh my. I'm going to be overwhelmingly no.
I don't think so. Sometimes the music's very nice and elegant. You know,
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Flips. Sports that have judges are a big problem. They always
betting on it is terrible.
Sports that have judges, just in general, sports with judges are a problem. Diving, figure skating, boxing, MMA.
Oh,
that's a no from me, dog.
Well, that's a no from me, dog. Chef B, be careful what you say. You got a little Chef B now, and you live in New England.
Yep.
Guess what? One of the favorite things to do for girls in New England are figure skate. It used to being at the rink, brother.
My daughter's going from 7:30 to 2 at figure skate, or 8 to 2 rather. 8 to 2. She's either 7:30. They start at 8. Figure skating camp.
Yep.
And then practice tonight at 5:30. She's going to be a long time on the ice.
It's a lot.
She's going to be worked out. Awesome. Brian, I agree. I said toe pick to Madeline, and she was like, what? I was like, we'll watch that movie some other time. She's like, why not? Like, what movie? I'm like, it's a tremendous movie. We'll watch it some other time. Like, we'll watch it some other time.
See, Opoko knows. Knows.
Because that's a hockey player. That's a hockey player learning how to figure skate. It's a 90s movie. What, 95 that movie came out in?
I don't know when it came out.
When did that movie? Cutting Edge came out in 1992.
Oh, okay.
92. I saw it in the theaters in 92.
Wow.
Yep.
I did not see it in the theaters.
I saw it in the theaters in 92. So, yeah. All right. Speaking of hockey, what happened this weekend? Oilers beat the Stars in 6 games. They're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Canada, you finally have a team playing for it all. 1993 was a long time ago. It was basically, it's the year after the Cutting Edge came out. That's how long ago it's been since the Canadian teams have won it all. Florida, minus 130 to win the Cup. They are, it's plus 156. Sorry on that. Let me correct that. For them, it's an interesting number. Laying a game and a half for Florida is plus money. This series going 7.
Oh, I don't know if it's going 7. I don't know. The first thought was after Saturday, ain't nobody beating Florida. And then watching Sunday, By the way, did you see that fan that went viral for the Oilers?
She's
changing hockey viewers.
She's fun. bring her more often.
Trying to get her on the show, boys and girls.
Is she coming topless or is she coming with the top on? Which one?
We're never getting off late night if she does option number 2.
We're Howard Stern then. We're officially Howard Stern if she comes
I don't
on.
know how that would work out.
No, on our YouTube channel it'll be fine, but I don't think we'd be on Sports Grid that night.
We might get one of those marks if we do that. But I mean, the steam that Edmonton caught from
that
Friday and then that
from her
and then Sunday and Skinner. I mean, they could win. No.
First cup since 06 for the Oilers. They don't know any better. First cup for McDavid. Florida went last year. So, like, this has been the goal for them for a solid year that they have unfinished business. Man, how is this series going to be refereed? That's what you got to answer me that question, because if I know that, I know what I'm betting. Right. If this is going to be a wide open, no penalty calling series, Florida's winning this series. But if you give that power play multiple chances a game for Edmonton, Oilers can win this thing, because I don't trust Bobrovsky. He's playing tremendously well. I'll give you that. And Skinner can turn back into a pumpkin at any time. Yes, AOWN. I agree. Skinner can absolutely go back to regular season Skinner. But if we get to see McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice in a special team situation consistently during this series, and the troublemakers, if you want to call them that, for Florida, if they're not allowed to do what they want to do to McDavid and company, Edmonton's live.
Edmonton's very live.
Couple things.
Florida's going to win. Right
Couple
now,
things.
I think Florida's going to win. The first game is not till Saturday.
Correct. The interesting point, and Joe Ranieri and I
go to game 1?
No. Joe Ranieri and I were on. I have no desire to go to Edmonton or go to Florida, rather.
No, we're going to Miami.
No desire to go to
South
Miami.
Beach.
In June, no thank you. I'm already here.
Hello.
100 here already. I don't need to go to humidity too. 100 in humid, no thank you. I'll take 100 in dry, not 100 in humid for hockey. But Joe Ranieri and I were on Sports Grid, and we were just like talking it out. And I said to him, is this going to be the farthest travel in the history of the NHL? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, Miami to Edmonton. There aren't too many cities but in North America that are further apart than Edmonton and Miami. It's the furthest travel ever. It's an 8-hour flight, 2,541 miles between cities.
Yeah.
If this thing goes to 6 or 7 games, it's one flight, game 2, game 4, right? That's easy. That's just one flight each. That's not a big deal. But if we go to 5, that's game 4 to game 5. Game 6, we're going back to Miami. Game 7, we're going back to Edmonton. Game 7, we're going back to Miami.
Right.
That's a lot of travel. Now, the games are really spaced, okay?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, and 4 are really spaced out for television. But 5, 6, and 7, it's tight. It's tight. It's not nearly as far from a rest perspective. If this thing starts to go late, if we get a long series, these guys are going to be tired.
I just got a text message from one of our guys who we met in Chicago at our road show there, who's a big fan of the show, Bonvy, Edmonton Oiler fan,
right?
Lives in Toronto area, Mississauga, somewhere in that Ontario area. I don't know. I don't want to weigh the travel into the handicap, but he just said put some respect on those Oilers. Okay.
Dan, your brother, what do you mean? I'm looking at it right now. Flight time is 7 hours and 54 minutes. Flight duration time, Miami to Edmonton. Go to Google and hit it in. Google, how long is the flight? Flight time from Miami to Edmonton, 7 hours and 54 minutes plus. There's no way, because it's Boston to Vegas is 2,200 miles.
That's 5 hours, right?
That's 6, depending on what you do. Just depends on how it is in the jet stream and what direction you go. Because if you're flying from Vegas to Boston, it could be 4 hours and 20 minutes. I just did it. If you're flying from Boston to Vegas, it could be 6.5 hours.
It's always longer,
depending on the jet stream. You're going against the spin of the earth and against the jet stream, so it's a slower path.
This is the aviation portion of the show, boys and girls.
I'm just saying it's a flight. It is far. This is not going to be an easy trek here to go. This is not easy to go from Miami to Edmonton.
Is anybody going to watch?
I think if McDavid wins, if he's getting close to win this thing, I do think people are going to watch. One, I think people love to see streaks end, Cubs and Red Sox type streaks. They love that. And secondly, Conor McDavid has a chance to be the face of the NHL.
Conor McDavid is the face of the NHL.
I don't know if that's the case.
Else.
I don't in Canada he is, but I don't know about America. In America, he's not.
Well, he doesn't have those. I mean, who is the face in the America? Who's the face of the NHL?
Sidney Crosby still.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. I think if you ask someone name a NHL star, I think Crosby would be the first one they would mention.
I don't know. That's a good question, guys. If you're in the chat, you're watching the show live
all
here
of Canada,
or on Twitter.
Yeah, Brian.
When you think of the face of the NHL, who do you think of?
All of Canada is going to be just jacked to this game.
I would think so.
The entire country is going to be locked in.
Envy, I apologize. It's Windsor, Ontario, just a few miles south of Detroit. That's where he's
north of Detroit. Is it north of Detroit?
He's north of Detroit. He's
Windsor's north of Detroit.
Windsor's north of Detroit.
Yeah, okay.
It's in Canada,
yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
But
across the bridge.
It's an interesting thing. We talked about it too on Saturday a little bit, me, you, and Joe, about I don't know if people from Canada to just automatically go, well, we're rooting for the Canadian team.
I think that they are. Wow. I said that to you on Saturday. I think they are. I think it's I
think some are, but like that would be like you rooting for the Yankees because they beat the Red Sox and they're close to you up in New England.
Yeah, but if in baseball terms, if an American team hadn't won the World Series since 1993, I might even root for the Yankees just to get that. You know, that's been the talking point forever. That Gary Bettman does not want a Canadian team to win the cup because it's bad for business.
Windsor's south of Detroit. I didn't know.
It is.
Sometimes I just let you talk and you talk.
Well, how is it? Wait. How is that? Whoa,
I don't know.
Over the Ambassador Bridge, right? The Ambassador Bridge goes south.
I don't know.
I got to look this up now. I have no idea. I got to look at this.
Wow, JPC the fourth is from Detroit. He said that Calgary and Toronto aren't pulling for Edmonton. You think that's true?
I don't know. I'm really
Calgary's definitely not. Like Calgary and Edmonton is that Battle of Alberta, those teams can't stand each other. Those fans can't stand each other. I don't think they are. But like, what is the guy sitting in Winnipeg who the Jets aren't there? Is he probably going, well, you know?
No, that's true. That is true. It is south. That's wild.
Thank you, boys. This is why we have the chat.
That's wild. In the Ambassador, it's southeast, but it's not due south, but it's southeast. It's definitely south. It's definitely below. Windsor's definitely below Detroit, which I would have lost a lot of money on that bet.
There you go.
That Windsor, Canada actually is south.
Geography thing is really between the geography and the math.
That's tough. Well, I mean, I'm really good at geography. I'm really good at that stuff. That's something that I never would have thought, just because every shot you see of the Ambassador Bridge is always like going up. Like you just assume you're going north because you're going to Canada.
We got Jimmy Football in the chat. He said he grew up in Windsor. Welcome to the show, Jimmy Football. Thank you very much for being here.
Come visit. We'll show you around. Yeah. I mean, I've only spent one day in Detroit. I haven't been there that much.
We got to go. We got a little bit of a base of people that is building slowly up there. The Lions are going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go pay homage to the Michigan after winning the ticket last year.
Sure. Absolutely. I would love to go to the big house. I've never been.
Never been either.
I would love to go there.
I got to go.
Fun. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun.
I don't really want to go when Penn State plays them, though.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. You might get smoked.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to get smoked. You don't get.
I go see a Lions game. I go see a Lions game on a Sunday night or Monday night.
100%. I'm in. That would be ton. I mean,
Thursday game, prime time. Whoo!
Dome.
Put something together there, boys. That'd be
Dome.
Fun. Yeah.
It's what the Michigan is the 5th biggest gambling state, right? 5th or 6th for handle.
A lot of people like to play up there. A lot of
Addison, thank you. We appreciate your recommendations on the cannabis quality in Michigan.
Oh, Leland's retirement, Daniel G.
Oh, wow. For you.
There?
This is your life.
That would be fun.
For you.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So
that would be fun.
We'll watch that. UFC 302, the main event was pretty damn cool. It's one of those days where it's a slower day, so we can talk about this a little bit. But yes. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Dustin Poirier's comments about his daughter after he lost the fight, but that choked me up. That was his kid. That was an incredible 5-round fight. That was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. Poirier got submitted in the 5th round by Islam Makhachev. I mean, it was right there for Poirier. He had a shot. If it goes to the cards, I don't think he wins.
No.
But what a fun fight.
That was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The books had the biggest exposure. They're telling everybody between our guy Ewing and, my guys Mason and Bernsey down at Bet Online. Everybody was, putting it out there. We're going to get destroyed if Poirier wins. Everything's key to Poirier. And, it's not fixed. Poirier fought his ass off.
He really did.
That was, when he got hit and got mad, like, what was that? The third round when he
after he broke his nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was like,
really
all right.
Mad. He was mad.
He was mad. But he came at him and then he cut him. And I felt like I was watching a Rocky movie.
It's like the exact same thing I thought. I go, this is a Rocky movie. This is literally because in the first 2 minutes, it looked like it was going to be a quick night.
Yes.
I mean, Makhachev grabbed him, dumped him fast, put him on his back. He had 3 minutes to work. And I'm like, oh, Poirier's not going to survive this. Like, this is bad.
Mm-mm.
And then I had over 1.5 rounds. And I was like, just come on, Dustin. And he survived it. And I'm like, all right, we're okay. And then it went all the way to the 5th round where he finally got the submission. Dustin finally made the mistake, but he couldn't breathe. His nose was busted. His eyes was all busted.
I don't know how those guys do that and continue to come forward. And listen, you weren't the only one, Jade, out that thought the under was dead.
Well, over. He meant over, but yeah, he.
Oh yeah, I meant over.
We all thought the under. We all thought over 1.5 rounds was dead. I mean, it was like, oh shoot. So I had 3 bets on it. I had Poirier by knockout, I had Islam by submission, and I had over 1.5 rounds. So I was pretty well covered as long as we did not go to the cards. And I was like, ooh, this might go to the cards.
Speaking of going to the cards, I just give me 20 seconds.
Sure.
Something got to be done. The judge in the Strickland fight is a bozo, needs to be stripped of his judging ability. Jimmy Jack, I was just going to say this. I don't know. I like to put on the listening glasses, okay? I'll put on the listening glasses for this because I don't know what glasses that the guy had on that had that fight 49-46
for Costa.
Other guy had 49-46 Strickland, and the other guy had 50-45, which you could argue he did win all 5 rounds. At least 4.
Bad fight. What a bad fight.
P-roll. I mean, it wasn't a good fight. And I kept texting you because I'm trying to score it, and I know you're watching it. Like a lot of people say they're going to be watching the UFC. If you want to bet one thing on Saturdays when the fights are on, you could DM Matt, and he's watching the fights. So, like, I had a crazy day Saturday. I knew I got alone, and I'm watching the fights because a lot of times if all the kids aren't into it, they're not into the fight. So I'm alone, and I'm watching the fights, and I'm texting you. And all you kept saying was awful fight. I'm like, is it 1-0 Strickland or not?
I didn't know.
2-0 Strickland or not? And you're like, I don't know. You can't score these terrible fights.
When they're terrible, when the fights aren't fun and there's no action, it's up to what each judge believes is a criteria to score a round for the fighter. Like, is it activity? Is it damage? Is it ring commandmanship? Is it overall strikes? Is it significant strikes? Like what is the criteria that each judge wants to elevate? But Paul Costa did not win that fight. Like there's just no way around it.
On any scorecard or planet or anything, there's no way that anyone that has eyes could see that he could have won that fight.
Fair.
I mean, a draw would have caused a little bit of controversy. Like, how could that be? That's the problem. I just think when you see that and hear that, like, and all the boys in the business, like John Murray put out a tweet and I responded. Somebody else put out a tweet. I responded. I'm like, how can this be this much with the amount of money that's really starting to come every single big event? Even this wasn't the full card was whatever it was, but
Top
what's
two
coming.
Fights. Oh,
At
yeah.
the end of June, you know what's coming.
But Steve, you're right, Anderson. You're right. Damage is the number one priority on a scorecard. It's not to every judge, because I can tell you right now, I've had numerous bets where there's been more damage.
Isn't that bullshit?
It is. It's not, because each judge gets to make up their own way of voting and scoring. So by technical, damage is the most important criteria. Yes, I can show you numerous fights and tickets that I lost because the fighter I bet on caused more damage to the other fighter that he was fighting, even she was fighting, and yet they lost 3 rounds to 2 or 2 rounds to 1 because of activity, because of commandmanship, because of takedowns, because of control time. Like, by the letter of the law, that's right. But judges don't do that. That's how a judge got 49-46 Costa. it was I don't know why.
But so I just want to know what his criteria was, because was it more shots? Was it more damage? Was it more? What could he have seen?
Why can't we ask the judge that? I want the judge at a podium answering that question. Yes, I want judges to be interviewed after the game. You tell me, why did you do this? Because you're off. It doesn't make any sense. You're the only ones. Your other 2 people saw it one way. You saw it a different way. Okay, so tell us why. Because his answers or her answers would lead us to believe whether or not they're a crackpot or not. Okay? Are you actually somebody who should be judging high-level fights? Are you making a case? Does it make sense that what you saw and what you scored can be matched up? And everyone's like, can't do that. Integrity of the game. You can't ask the judges to explain themselves. They're going to judge differently because they're going to be afraid of the media and blah, 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 blah. Get out of here. They're paid. Those 3 people, those 3 blind mice, are paid to judge and decide millions of dollars.
It's incredible. I mean, it's the fighter's future. A lot of times is based on the result of the fight. And if they really won the fight, but they were not awarded the fight because of 2 rounds were seen totally different by 2 people sitting. They're not even sitting right next to each other. They all have different vantage points.
Yep, correct. Yep.
Okay. Now they all have different criteria, and you don't see the score till after. Something I don't know, man. Like,
live scoring. You're making a case
for
live. You're making a case for live scoring, which is something that I and other people have talked about for a very long time. That we should see.
What is the argument against it?
They will be judging to the crowd, not judging to their own thoughts. That if they put up what they think, that a fighter, like, okay, it's 4 rounds to none, right?
The fighter will fight differently.
Correct, 100%. The fighter will fight differently. So they're afraid of that. They think it's the fighter should guess that they don't know. But I'm for, I want that 5th round where the fighter is down 4-0. Let's see what he or she is made of.
We got a huge influx of people for whatever reason. Close the poll on the figure skating, because 23% of you are right with me in liking figure skating and watching it. 77% of you completely wrong. Enjoy the figure skating during the Olympics. Maybe not all the time. It's not for everybody. Figure skating. What do you want live scoring in UFC? Yes or no? I want to see what people say. I want
in all combat sports.
That's fine. One thing at a time. UFC can separate itself from everything else even more if they say, starting in 2025, we're doing live scoring. You're going to know. It's 5 rounds. Who won that round? 10-9. Boom. Push a button. 10 or 9 or 8 if you have to. Just push a button.
Remember,
Sean, yes, please. What do you think people are going to vote?
Yes, but remember, a couple things. Every state has their own commission.
Oh, here we go. It sounds like a sports gamble.
Absolutely correct. I just supposed to say that. This is just like sports betting. Every state has their own rules, has their own commission, has their own people that need bags to be taken care of. Okay? So just know what we're talking about here in terms of the Nevada Sports Commission, the Michigan Sports Commission, the New York Sports Commission. They're all very lucrative jobs that they get placed inside of to run these things. and they all have to be in unison. The UFC can't have every other state have it. Like it's that state has it, that state doesn't, because it changes dramatically. If you're fighting for a title fight in a state that has live scoring versus a fight that doesn't in a state that doesn't, it's two different fights. It's two entirely different preparations. So it has to be either universal and every commission has to okay it and be able to do it.
That's never going to happen.
Correct. And that's the pushback that people have. Eric Garcia, what's up, E? Which state? Here, Nevada. We do. We have the worst judges.
I don't know. New York, New Jersey's supposed to be
bad too.
Pretty
bad. But we're bad too. That's how Canelo Alvarez Canelo will never lose his belts by decision here in Vegas. Ever. You want to take his belts, you better knock his ass out because no one's stripping him of it on a card perspective. Cannot happen. Will not happen.
I don't know. Like if there's a criteria they got to follow, okay. If they can all sit in the same place and see the same thing, maybe, but that would improve it.
Kevin Iole made the point that he believes that the judges should be watching on a closed circuit camera shot with headphones on. No crowd, no commentator, nothing. Just silently watching the fight. So no outside influences can get into their ear. Interesting thought. The camera angle would matter, though. The pushback is, well, who's controlling the camera angle as to what they're watching?
So you can't sit them all in the same place ringside?
No, because they want different, because it's an octagon, right? So they're going to move around. They want different angles. They want the judges to see things different.
I mean, that's not a bad argument.
It's on purpose. Yeah,
that's not a bad argument.
And they also don't want them talking to each other either. You don't want any kibitzing going back and forth.
Well, you can't talk about it. Well, what do you think?
That's what I mean.
Gave them a 10-9.
If they're close to each other, you can give side eyes. You can give head nods.
Can't have them talking to each other.
Correct. So that's why. That's why you don't have them in the same place. So I would love to see it. I don't think that's ever. I agree, Butchie. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. It's fair. I agree. Big warning sign for all of us who are super excited for UFC 303. This morning in Ireland was supposed to be the unofficial kickoff to the countdown to UFC 303, and they canceled it.
Oh, what does that mean?
UFC 303 Dublin press conference postponed until further notice. Well, I mean, look, we don't know the actual reasons why, but there have been wide speculation. Conor McGregor has been seen partying hard for the last 2 weeks.
Videos that don't look like a training camp.
He says he's preparing for the fight in the club. That was his line. Somebody said, Conor, you gotta fight here in a month. Yeah, I'm training for the fight in the club, mate. Like he was like, the one thing it was good is that he was with his wife and not somebody else. Like, but he was provocatively dancing with his wife and it was like, oh my God, dude. Like you haven't fought in 3 years. And you got Michael Chandler, who's been sitting and waiting. And you have this press conference. It's supposed to be this raucous, huge event. And luckily, Michael Chandler was told on Saturday night. So he didn't get on a plane on Sunday and fly all the way to Ireland to be there for this press conference.
Oh.
So luckily, the UFC said, hey, we're not going to do this. We're going to call this off. They just made the announcement this morning, U.S. time, afternoon over in England. But I mean, this is just frustration on frustration when it comes to Conor McGregor. Like, I think the UFC is nervous about, Conor, if you remember when Conor in the Mayweather lead up, like he showed up whenever he wanted to show up. So Conor may have been like in, who knows, like Italy. He may have just been like, I'm not here, so I'm not doing it. He's been known to do that. Like his insubordination is pretty high when it comes to Dana White and the UFC.
Well, Boca just came in and said, hate to say it, but Conor is walking CTE.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think he's a problem. I think he's got big problems with drug use. I think he's got big problems with alcohol. I think he's a guy who is wealthy beyond his wildest dreams, and he has no real desire to fight, but he knows he has to fight because what is Conor McGregor if not a fighter? So that's the problem.
Came in the chat, said the joyride with McGregor's over.
I would agree. That's what I told you on the night they announced the fight. I was
I
walking.
know.
I
know. I know. You said that. You said you'd be surprised if it happens. Like
I said, one, I'll be surprised if it happens, and I said, number two, they're going to make Conor the favorite, and they did. Like, I was like, what are we doing? But people were going to bet Conor. So I just said, I told you, sit and wait. Just sit and wait, sit and wait, sit and wait. If Conor winds up fighting, I mean, I don't like the term like uncomfortable amounts of money, but like it would be hard pressed for me not to go on Chandler for an uncomfortable amount of money.
Right.
Yeah. Because it just, Conor just is not serious anymore. I love the guy. He's tremendous. Got me into the UFC. I've been a huge McGregor fan since I saw him in Boston when he fought his first fight in the States, where his first headline fight. It was on first fight in the States, but first headline fight in the States. I mean, it was Max Holloway. Like, he fought Max way back when at 145 pounds.
Yeah.
He couldn't make 145 pounds if you gave him 6 years to do it now. Like, there's no way. So Circa's at Circa's at minus 110 both ways now. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna let the betting public, and they're gonna bet Conor. So I think what that tells me is the public's gonna bet Conor, pros are gonna bet on Chandler, and that's why the line's gonna stay where it is.
Well, at least till it gets closer. There's
no need to give plus money on Conor either.
Nobody wants to make bets right now on something that they don't know is going to happen.
Right. There's a possibility that won't even happen.
I actually reached out to our guy Anik today to come on the show.
Oh,
so we're waiting to hear back. We can have John on the show.
Yeah. Get him on for sure.
Yeah. I said we'll talk about the UFC stuff, but I want to
talk
about
the picture of him go viral. Did you see that?
Oh, it's tremendous.
With his eyes.
It's tremendous.
How excited are you for UFC 302? It was his eyes, wide eyes. I love him.
He's great. I mean, he's great. It's just
such a good dude.
It's fun. I feel, I mean, he took time out and sent us the hats and his hoodies and stuff, the One More Sleep stuff. And, we had him on a show, and, I don't bother him too often, but
right.
I'll send him a random text. He always replies. It's just a good dude, man.
Yeah.
And I said, the Celtics are in the finals. We're trying to line up some Boston people to talk about the Celtics. I said, it pains me, but I got to do it. So let me know when you're available.
It'd be awesome to get him on. So hopefully, Anik, this week we'll talk about the main event 302. What's next for Poirier? We'll just put a wrap on that, by the way. I meant to ask you that. Do you think Poirier fights again?
I don't think so. Do you?
I don't. I think once he
what else can he do? That's the way you go out.
Yeah. I mean, he wants to win a belt. Like, he wants to win a belt. Like, that's the problem.
Oh, man, I don't know. At some point,
he talked about it. He'll probably never fight for it again. That was his shot. And he almost did it. It was a Rocky movie. You're absolutely right. He almost shocked the world. He almost did it. He survived multiple takedowns. He clipped him. You saw it in the fourth round where Makhachev was like, this guy
opened up.
Yeah, this guy is like, it was, woo.
I pictured Paulie grabbing Apollo going, no. He's not getting hurt. He's getting mad. He's getting mad. I'm like, here he comes. Oh my gosh, he's going to pop. And then he popped him open. And I thought of Rocky IV when he cut Drago and said, see, he's not a machine. He's cut. He's a man. I was like, I literally was getting so excited to watch. I'm like, please do this. Please. And I wasn't in a book and had to worry about the meeting on Sunday or Monday. Going, how did you guys lose $500,000 on the UFC fights? Well, because everybody bet Poirier. Everybody bet him. What do you want us to do? We moved the lines. All the favorites won that night except one. If he would have, it felt like every favorite won the whole card.
Yep.
So just one of those people put a couple money lines together. They put it with the Phillies, put it with the Yankees.
Oh yeah, killed it.
We had every bet pretty hot right now between this show and the juice. We've been giving out some good stuff. I mean, that was a hell of a month of May. I'm just saying, we had our guy send us a
last week, hell of a week
billboard.
last week.
Right. He sent us a picture of a billboard.
Yep.
We're still working on actually putting that on the show about Matt, your pick sucks.
I just don't want to piss off some people today. I was like, do it for just BBB. Do it just for us.
Right. Yeah. Just get that other thing off of there.
It's a BBB thing. It's not
right.
a other thing.
Right.
So
yeah, Matt, your picks suck, but they didn't suck in the last couple of weeks. But Saturday was great.
I can't remember the last time I won 10 units in a week. I don't remember. I don't remember when I've
10 units.
I went 6-1 winning days, and the only winning day I was down 0.1. Yeah. So I was down like nothing when I lost, and then I won every other day. So I swept it
live on Sports Grid at prime time on.
Killed Saturday. Killed it.
Every pick we talked about won. Every single one. Because I was getting text Saturday morning. Thank you. Yeah. And they're like, "What do you like Saturday?" And I said, "Well, Matt's on with Ranieri for 4 hours. I'm on for the last hour. Make sure you watch it. We'll have stuff for the night."
Yeah.
Everything we gave out Saturday won. Every single thing. The hockey, the baseball, the UFC, every single thing. So once in a while,
we know something. Good. We know something.
A little bit.
Once in a while. Once in a while.
All right.
Look, this is where we are here. So people are going to go, wow, UFC into WNBA. Yes. So Caitlyn Clark and the Fever got crushed yesterday by the Liberty. I mean, crushed. But that's not the topic that everyone's talking about.
Oh, boy.
Caitlyn Clark, the game before. Saturday at home with Pat and the boys there watching the game live.
Yep.
Caitlyn Clark gets crushed by Kennedy Carter, who I'd never heard of before that moment. Happened. No one defended her on the court. Nobody went at Carter. It happened in front of Aaliyah Boston, her teammate for the Indiana Fever. Caitlyn Clark gets drilled, and she has to help herself up off the ground. What is going on?
Don't know.
This is really a strange deal. And I wrote a whole rant on Twitter. You guys can go read it. It's not for this show. But I've never seen something like this. What
was the rant about?
You want me to do it now? I can talk about it here if you want me to.
Well, no. What was it about? Women's basketball?
Yeah.
Oh.
Things I saw as a broadcaster in women's basketball for 3 seasons 20 years ago that I think might be factoring into what's going on with Caitlyn Clark.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll say it. I think there is, and this is me asking a question now as a 47-year-old straight white man. This is understand. I'm asking this question. I'm not declaring anything. I know nothing about the inner workings of a WNBA locker room in 2024. But when I traveled with Virginia women's basketball and UMass women's basketball, and I was on the road, and I talked to them I talked to players on the air, off the air, privately, publicly. The cliques were not drawn on racial lines. The cliques were drawn on sexuality lines.
Oh.
It was not racial. It was straight versus gay. And there were problems inside of teams. All 3 teams that I covered, there were questions and issues because sometimes the players were dating each other and nobody knew about it.
Right.
And it caused all sorts of problems. So everyone's right now, Pat's in the middle of a huge controversy because Pat called, sorry, Will, but he called Caitlyn Clark a white bitch today. Okay. He said, Caitlyn Clark is that white bitch. And everybody's freaking out over it, going like, oh my God. And I'm just like, that was a compliment. He wasn't meaning it to be an insult. He was meaning like, she's that girl. She's the it girl. Like, she's that person. So Pat was saying it as like a get used to Caitlyn Clark because what she does on the court is so good and everyone hates her for that reason. It goes beyond money, though, to me, because the level of distrust, hatred, jealousy that we're seeing, they're all benefiting from Caitlyn Clark. They're all getting more money. They're all getting more attention, more exposure, more endorsements, charter flights. So I'm like, what the hell is
maybe they may be getting charter flights. That's it. They're not getting
no, I mean, there's more money, more eyeballs. There's more people going. I mean, they're getting interviews. People are knowing who they are. They're becoming just more known because of Caitlyn Clark's involvement. I get why that could be jealousy, but it goes so far beyond that because her own teammates seem like they have a problem with Caitlyn Clark. She got decked and nobody moved. I was like, okay, what's up? She's a straight white girl with a semi-famous fiance. So that was my question. I just go like, is this bigger than just basketball that we're talking about here and not some big think piece into like, the social economical standards of people who play basketball from certain parts of the country? I'm not talking about those types of things. I just couldn't figure out. I'm still trying to figure out.
I don't know if it's why does it have to be something? Why does it have to be race? Why does it have to be sexuality? Jimmy Jack just came in the chat and said, women are jealous of other women. A story as old as time.
But that sounds okay. I'm just going to say it. Okay. That sounds misogynistic.
That does.
It just sounds misogynistic
But
to say it. I'm not saying it's wrong. It just sounds misogynistic. And I'm not saying what I just said about women not liking women because of their sexuality isn't also misogynistic. I'm not saying that. But I just, when I hear that term of like women are catty, I mean, that's tough. But I just think because the reason why I asked the question is because there are more people accepting women's basketball today than ever before. People are talking about it. People are betting it. I mean, hell, First Take today went crazy because Stephen A. Smith said nobody talks more about women's sports than First Take. And the woman that was on with him,
Monica McNutt,
Monica McNutt said, "What are you talking about? If that was the case, you would have talked about it 3 years ago. You're just talking about it now." I mean, she called him out live on ESPN when he said that. So like people are trying to claim this, like, we're so pro WNBA. It's because of Caitlyn Clark's involvement. And I know Angel Reese fans get very upset about that, but I just wonder that if you've played basketball for a long time and you've dedicated your life to being a professional basketball player, and now people are going, "Oh, you play in the WNBA. How cool is that?" They're accepting you now, not then, not last year, but this year. Just wonder why that is. Is it because of Caitlyn Clark's race, sexuality, performance, money? What is the jealousy root? Because and it may not be as easy as like, it may be person to person with this, but the level of jealousy going towards Caitlyn Clark is unbelievable. And she's not going anywhere, people. Like people are like, she'll be a flash in the pan. She'll be gone. She won't be around forever. She's not going anywhere.
I think as the dad of 3 daughters in an ocean of estrogen in this house and a coach of all girls sports, I coached boys sports before I had my own kids. Okay. So it's way different. It's a way, way different dynamic. There's things that happen. It doesn't make it okay. It just makes it different.
Am I wrong about the sexuality conversation, though? Am I completely off base on that?
No, there's an element of that.
Right.
I didn't realize that coaching the kids when they were young, but as we got into the teenage years and there were girls on the team there were girls on the team that weren't, there was a problem. And we had to have a discussion about it in the locker room.
And I saw that too. So that's my point. No one's bringing that up. No one's talking about that because it's a very touchy thing. I get it.
It's a very touchy
This is Pride Month. I get the idea that it's a very touchy, but I just go like, this has to go beyond just money. Like this has to go beyond just they're jealous of who Caitlyn Clark is as a person or the money that she's making. It's weird.
This happens in anything. And just think of it in any business. When somebody comes in with everything that you've tried to get that you were unable to get and starts already there, like at third base, to use a baseball analogy.
Yep.
People that have been on first and second playing the game for a long time get mad. And they don't understand that, listen, if we can ride this, we're going to test them. But if we can ride this, it will elevate. Now, it doesn't elevate for everybody. That's part of the problem. Charter flights is good. Listen, we used to fly commercial. Now we're flying charter flights. Okay, so maybe don't run her. Like when you just look at the basketball part of all of this, what is the purpose of the cheap shots?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's my point. That's what I keep on coming back to, that like the hip checks are real.
Oh, but listen, if you go back and there's that Twitter account, I forget what it's called. It's a playoff of Adam Schefter. It's a fake one, but it's there was a lot of John going on. And I talked to the boys on Saturday night.
Okay.
And they were courtside. They were right where that hip check happened. They were sitting right there. And, I said to Gumpy and Connor, and we were all talking, and I said, was there a lot of John going on? He's like, dude, you can't imagine what they were saying. Like they were going back and forth so hard from the time the ball tipped.
And then you have this, besides 3-point shooting, what does she bring to the table, man?
Yeah.
Caitlyn Clark, I think Caitlyn Clark is more fun to watch as a passer of the basketball than I do a shooter of the basketball.
Oh yeah, no,
she's a wizard with the ball. I mean, she's one of the leading assist guards in the entire league already. What does she do? I mean, like, that type of comment is so like blatantly ignorant to someone who's in your league. The belittling, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me.
So I thought about this while watching it, and I had a little bit of time to think yesterday. And I remember when Mario Lemieux came into the league in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
French-Canadian kid, didn't speak much English, showed up, number 1 draft choice. What I saw people do to him in the league was embarrassing to the league because they didn't protect him. We knew in Pittsburgh he was going to be one of the best players of all time. And they called it a garage league. He took runs. People cross-checked the crap out of him. The only answer that the hockey guys could do was go get 2 guys that will literally run every person that touches him. You had the police yourself. This is our guy. They don't see it. They don't want him to be good. Now, like when Gretzky was, dominating the 80s for Edmonton, they had a guy named Dave Semenko on the team. If you looked at Gretzky wrong, you had to fight Semenko. If you caught Gretzky by accident, just crossing the neutral zone and bumped him and knocked him down, you had to fight. You had to answer. There was somebody on the team to protect him.
I mean, Evander Kane plays for the Oilers for that very reason. Like,
Evander Kane is out there to make sure no liberties are taken
with Conor McDavid. You leave Conor McDavid alone, or that dude's coming to light your ass up.
Now, I'm not saying that you can't be physical, but the stuff they're doing, but they're not just doing it to her. Like, they're not. We're seeing the publicity of it. It was Black Adam Schefter. That's it. Thank you, Rainmaker, where that video was posted. There was a lot of chirping and grabbing shirts and all this other stuff. She's not completely innocent.
Okay, but why? I think the shot on Kennedy Carter that she took, physicality in basketball, I'm okay. She called her a bitch and then ran her over. Yeah. Like that was not anything to do with basketball, anything to do with physical play. And then she's so big, like the cowardness is amazing. She stood there and said, I'm not answering any questions about Caitlyn Clark. Got fined for that. I mean, Angel Reese denied any interview requests. Fined for that. Like, they're all big and tough until actually have to answer for their behavior. And they're like, we're not talking about it. Like, that's the problem. I like physical play. Be physical. I mean, I told you the story. I was on the scout team for both UMass and UVA women's basketball. They kicked the shit out of me. It was unbelievable. I got elbowed. I got cracked in the face a couple times. It was, Debbie Ryan literally loved it. She thought it was the funniest thing in the world. She told her girls to kill me. Like, kill him. Straight up kill him. And they did. And I'm 6 feet tall. The girls were 6'1", 6'2". They're taller than me. And they were in better shape. They were more physical. Some of them might have been stronger than I was. They loved to kill the guys who were running the scout team.
Right.
The game's physical. The game is violent. It's incredible to watch. It's below the rim. So it's how basketball used to be played, or how it was designed to be played. But that play has nowhere in basketball.
No, that has nowhere in sports.
Nowhere. And yet it was taken okay. I couldn't figure it out.
Couldn't either.
And it happened in front of the biggest player for the Fever. Aaliyah Boston is big. She's not small. Like, she could have ripped Carter and threw her like a rag doll. Instead, she just walked over and like, Caitlyn, are you okay? What was like, this happens in I was like, again, I asked on Twitter, like, am I crazy? Am I just watch too many guys sports? Because if like that happens in the NBA, it's a bench clearing brawl. It happens in the NHL, it's 5-on-5 fights.
It happened in our adult league. We were playing in a roller league, and my guy, Al, took an unnecessary shot after he dumped the puck in. My instincts took over. I went and grabbed everybody, and I was looking to destroy whomever I could get my hands on. And I must have had that switch flip.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, Dave, You got it. I was like, they were young kids. And I said, this guy's got to go to work tomorrow. What is wrong with you? I was literally trying to rip his head off his body because that guy's my teammate.
Right.
Like Al and I were teammates. We were friends. And, we got dressed together. We hung out after the games together. And that was an adult league. I mean, it's hockey, but it's different. But you're right. Like the reaction was strange. The whole thing is just, it has to come down from the league at some point. Somebody's got to say, you can't take these cheap shots at people. You can't do it.
Like there were MJ rules, right? There were rules for Michael Jordan. There were rules for LeBron. Like I think you have rules for Caitlyn Clark already, but do you guys want the attention
the game, P-Roll? That wasn't even called a foul.
Right. It was called a foul. It was a common foul. It wasn't upgraded. It was reviewed. It wasn't upgraded. Like what? It was called a foul. This wasn't called a flagrant foul or an ejection. Like, something of a serious note going like, you can't do that. You can't take a run. You can't take a run. Yeah.
You're out of the game.
Yeah. That was a non-basketball play. You're out. Like goodbye. Like get out of here. I agree. I mean, I think the WNBA is in a very tough spot. Indiana just passed in 5 games their entire attendance numbers from last season. Took them 5 games to beat all of last year for attendance. There's a lot more eyes and a lot more attention on these women on this sport than ever before. And there's going to be growing pains. And this is one of them. This is a growing pain for the league because people are going, wait, I watch basketball all the time. How was that not ... And so those questions are hard for the league to answer right now. Shout out to our guy, though. I mean, this is a little, if you want a betting update, the Connecticut Sun are 8-0. All 7 teams do this prior, all went to the finals.
Oh. So
if you're looking for a future ticket to jump onto in the WNBA, Connecticut Sun may not be a bad option.
J-Buck?
J-Buck's team.
J-Buck's team.
So
shout out to J-Buck.
If you want to have a futures ticket, Suns to win the conference and make it to the finals may not be that bad of a bet to come in here and bet that. Oh, it's like plus 110, really? Oh.
Well, they got to beat New York, and then they have to beat the Aces.
Plus 1050 to win it all, Butchie, or to make the finals?
To win it all. That's got to be.
Oh, to win it all. But this is just make the finals. They haven't won it all. Just make the finals.
Okay.
The 7 teams to go 8-0 prior have gone to the finals.
To win the East. Okay.
So there's maybe a chance to take a look at that. So maybe some decent money on that. Speaking of basketball, Porzingis back at practice. Celtics will look to run full speed today. On track to play game 1 on Thursday. How you feeling?
Excited?
How you feeling?
Let's go, Mavericks. Come on, Mavericks.
How you feeling? Porzingis. I love the fact that what's so fun is that all the numbers guys are now running the numbers and people are talking about the Mavericks being live. And they're all like, Boston should be like -2 games in this series. Like the numbers in game 1, most numbers guys have this at like a 7.5 point margin. Not saying numbers guys are always right, but just saying, Porzingis coming back makes everything look better.
It's Monday. We're going to talk about this all week. Game 1 is not until Thursday.
Just saying, just pointing it out that Porzingis is officially back at practice and running and doing.
To come on Thursday night too on In-Game Live.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh God, you want me in game? I'm not.
You have to come in. You have to be a guest on the show. It's a 4
I'm not taking responsibility for whatever I say.
That's what we want. We want full, unfiltered, annoying as hell,
I'm not
taking
responsibility for anything that I say. For anything that I say. The reason why this show was late today, the Brigade Proxy NFL story of the day. All right, guys, we got a lot coming on. We're going to see our guy Big Business in town this week. We're going to see Joel Onler in town this week. We got a lot of Brigade members coming in to sign up for the Brigade Proxy Service. If you want to be a part of the Brigade's Proxy Service, it's really easy to do so. 702-570-8255 or go to the website, thebvbshow.com. In case you don't know why you may want to be involved in this, it's a lot of money. $16 million in guaranteed prizes, up for in Circa Million. It's $6 million. In Circa Survivor, it's $10 million guaranteed, which probably will go higher than that. The feeling is $12 million will be on the table for Circa Survivor. $6 million. We think there could be an overlay in that. That's a 5-pick contest. It's million. Survivor is pick one winner per week, but looking forward to see all you guys coming up here in Vegas to sign up for the contest. That's what you have to do. Is be in Nevada to sign up. Reno, stay tuned. There may be some conversations coming with you guys. Maybe up in Reno or some of you guys.
What are you doing?
Just saying.
I can't do that.
Just saying, just teasing, just saying there might be something going on. Just not for sure, but there could be something going on for you guys who are in Northern California, Idaho. Although I don't how far is Boise to Reno? Is that far?
Somebody put it in the chat.
I wonder how far that is. But
I don't know.
Justin Jefferson got paid this morning.
Yeah, he did.
Paid. Are you okay with the Vikings giving him this much money? Like,
right? They got a rookie quarterback on the deal.
Yeah, they do. But are you cool with Justin Jefferson getting $140 million, 110 guaranteed? It's the highest contract, biggest contract for a non-quarterback in NFL history. He's making $40 million a year.
I'm not spending other people's money. Definitely not the Vikings. You got to keep your stars, right? Everybody complains you don't keep your stars, especially when you're from the small markets. Yeah. You locked in a guy who's a game changer. That's good. We know, we like you, we want you to stay.
What would you do if somebody gave if somebody gave you $88.7 million for signing your name? That's what he got. Jefferson got
literally thinking about that for 2 seconds, going, I don't even care what the rest of the conversation is. Sign it. Okay.
They gave $88.7 million at signing.
Yeah. It's a new world.
Like, what's that wire transfer like? Hey, we got to wire $88.7 million to one Mr. Justin Jefferson. Like,
yeah.
The bank's like, wait, what?
I don't even again. I think I would go to the bank and just say, hey, just so you guys know, there's going to be a wire coming in pretty soon.
For $88.7 million?
Yeah. I need to set up a special account for it because I'm going to need it all in cash after. Like, that would be hilarious.
It doesn't even make sense.
No, nothing makes sense of any of it. Although, I mean, if you're Vikings fans, all right, give them a poll. Is this a good signing? Yes or no? Give football fans a poll. I mean, like, because this locks up a lot of money. They can't go get other guys, and it's a wide receiver. Wow, you guys really want the live scoring. 81% of the people want the live scoring.
Of course they do. Yeah, everybody does. Because it would make live betting really easy. That's why they want it.
So, I mean, I'm interested to see. We got these scouts.
Be dead in 24 hours.
I'd be dead in 24 hours. If you got $88 million, Rainmaker Lou.
For signing your name, $88 million. Just sign. Don't do anything else. Yep, just sign. $88.7 million.
I already have the spot picked out for my place. I already know where I'm going. I'm going to lock it up. Oh, man. Be fun.
Whew. A lot of money. That is a lot of money for one Mr. Justin Jefferson. If you're a fan of the Vikings, you just hope, one, he stays healthy, and two, you actually have a quarterback who can throw him the football.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Forget about the money and the team and all of those stuff. So now you get the money. You better get tight with JJ, and you better do all the work you got to do to say, listen, man, just throw it. I'll go get it. Like that's when you got it. Now it's weird, right? Because then the reverse leadership has to happen, right? He has to take him and make him better. It's not the quarterback making a wide receiver better, right?
I mean, if you're a Viking fan, it's JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. That's your future. You better hope that JJ is the guy. McCarthy, not Justin Jefferson.
Well, it stinks if it's right. If it's McCarthy, what if he's another, Patriots quarterback?
Sam Darnold. Yeah, I mean, could be a Mac Jones. Sure. Yeah, absolutely could be a Mac Jones. Although Mac Jones threw the ball to great receivers, JJ never threw the ball. Like, they just ran the ball at Michigan. That's the problem. Nikki, I don't think you're wrong. A lot of people think that McCarthy is going to do well. That's why his stock was rocketing up during the draft. Everyone thought,
question.
I mean, everyone like he's going to be great. Look, I don't know if his coach knows anything about being an NFL quarterback anymore. We're going to find out, obviously, with him being with the Chargers. But when you have a former NFL quarterback and a former coach that's coached in a Super Bowl stand up there and say, this kid's going to be good. Okay. People listen. People listen. But yes, it is JJ to JJ. Yes, that's true, Rain. That's what it is. It's JJ to JJ to see what happens. And look, Addison's good too. I'll give you that. Ross Randall. Yep. They got other weapons. Hawkinson as well. Yep. I'll give you that. Daniel G. Former.
I like that. Right.
Yeah. But is JJ McCarthy going to be good? Like, okay. We're going to find out. He's going to play quick. He'll play probably within week 6 or 7. He's playing. Sam Darnold's not going to hold that job.
Think he's going to start the season as the quarterback?
JJ McCarthy? No, I'd be surprised. Who's
Minnesota's starting quarterback?
Sam Darnold. Wow. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if any of the rookie quarterbacks start, besides Caleb Williams. I'll be shocked if any of them start game 1. Every team that drafted them has a veteran quarterback who started games before that you'll ease the kid in. Only the Bears have this win now, you must win now type initiative. Every other team can slowly work their guy in.
I guess, but I'd be telling you right now, I'd be surprised if he's not the starter. I mean, he has to win the job, obviously, but
right
with the pieces around him, this locks him up, all this other stuff. I think you start him. I don't know. I don't want to say the ceiling's higher because I don't know what Sam Darnold is. I really
Nobody
don't.
Does. We still don't. They're 5 years, 6 years in the league.
Right? We still don't
know what Sam Darnold is. He's a stopgap. That's what he is. He's just a
temporary. No, maybe he is the starter. If he wins and meshes with everybody in camp, if Minnesota plays above expectations with Darnold, I'm good with letting McCarthy sit for a year.
Fair.
2 years. Whatever. At some point, he's going to have to start a game. Darnold's going to get hurt.
Oh, no. I think by week 5, McCarthy's playing. I think you give him the first month on the bench, and then he's playing. Same thing happens with the Patriots.
What if they go 4-1?
I don't. If McCarthy's ready, he plays, whether the team is 4-0 or 0-4.
You're wrong. They don't change the quarterback if they're 4-1.
They could. I mean, it's not about this coming year. It's about the future. If they think JJ is better than Darnold and they can win more or win more games with Sam Darnold on the bench, they'll bench him. If they're winning games because they're running the football really well and their defense is great, they're winning 14-10, they want to play JJ. 4-0 or 4-0, they'll want to play JJ. Patriots are the same way.
Oh, God.
I mean, if Brissett comes in and goes 3-1 in the first 4 games, but the offense is doing nothing and the defense is winning, they'll play Drake May. They'll put him out there, regardless of what the record is.
It's when those quarterbacks get one of those injuries. They get one of the
weird ones. Yeah. Weird. Like,
practice.
Yeah. Right. Twisted ankle. Right. Yeah, some weird. Right. It's like, they're hurt. Oh, I didn't know that. So time for Otani Watch. This is getting interesting because we mentioned this a couple of days ago, and now it's being talked about and picked up even more by a big article today by Ken Rosenthal on The Athletic about Otani. Should he be the first player to win the MVP as a primary DH? And not to steal Ken's thunder or make you buy the article, there are a lot of people, Dave, that are really, really against the idea that an MVP could be a full-time DH. That's not what the award was meant to be. Do you agree?
I had some conversations with some people Thursday and Friday about this exact subject. I was trying to pitch an idea for an article. Either I said I'll write it or you can write it, but I'll talk about it because you look at the odds for the MVP and there's something there because there's a clear division, a line. You either think he can or you think he can't. There's no, well, if he hits 360 and hits 50 bombs, then he can. It's like
right. He's either ineligible or he can win it.
That's it.
There's no other right.
There's no
I agree.
Everyone that I've talked to is adamant. No, he only hits. He can't win it. Okay. But what if he does this? If he hits 350, if he hits 50 bombs, leads the National League in home runs, he can't win it? No. Okay, wow. Or absolutely he could win it. It's such a clear line that I think it's worthy of a discussion. Now, personally, I'm okay with him winning the MVP if he's winning, if he's the guy. But
I have only one criteria for that to happen.
He has to pitch.
Triple Crown.
Oh.
That's the only way. That's the only way I give an MVP. Realistically, unless
because he doesn't stand in right field and catch some fly balls.
Yeah, because it doesn't play in the field. The drain on being like David Ortiz never won the MVP for this very reason, and he was a World Series MVP, but he wasn't a season MVP because he was a DH. And I think you get tired being a player in the field, whether just standing out in the sun or not. You're still having to be on versus relaxing or going to the cage, out of the sun, and just going up there and taking your hacks 4 times a game.
But isn't that hard too?
It is, but if you lead the majors in home runs, RBIs, and batting average, yes.
Well, that's fine. But what if you finish 3rd in average, 2nd in homers, and you lead in RBIs? I mean, like, I don't know. It has to be all. Hitting and sitting and then going up and seeing 95 or, 88 without any sort of motion or just sitting on the bench watching the game.
Right.
There's a talent to that too.
Absolutely.
Like, we had kids that were really good hitters that we would try to do that with because it did affect them playing second base and being in the sun and turning double plays and diving for balls. When they DH'd, sometimes they did better, sometimes they did worse. I don't know. Type it in the chat if you're watching it, if you're a baseball head. There it is. Thank you, Nikki. Otani's 3rd in average, tied for 2nd in home runs. You spelled home wrong, Nikki. If you're going to be an associate producer of the show, you got to spell it right.
Correct.
I'm just teasing you. And tied for 6 in RBIs. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know if I don't think you can rule it out.
It's going to be a big debate with the voting public, which
Huge
is why
debate.
I don't bet on it. I don't bet this nonsense because it's going to be who people are voting on.
Can't bet it. I think it makes it unbettable.
Agreed.
But type it in the chat right now. Is Otani MVP? Yes or no? Can he win the MVP? Yes or no?
I mean, isn't Mookie Betts more valuable right now to the Dodgers than Otani?
Yes.
So, like, I think Mookie wins.
Not even the MVP on his own team.
Right. So I can't give it to Otani right now because of what Mookie Betts is doing.
I agree with you.
So, I mean, if I was voting, I would take what Mookie's doing, but it is kind of crazy. Mookie's got 76 hits, but Otani's got more home runs and a better batting average than Mookie Betts right now. Now, it's not by a lot. Mookie's batting 318 to 322. Mookie's got 9 home runs to 14 home runs. Shohei's got 74 hits and Mookie's got 76 hits. I mean, they're right there. Like, they're right there. So the differentiating, it's got to be defense. You got to put Mookie above him because Mookie plays in the field.
Mookie throws guys out.
Yeah,
Mookie
he plays second base, center field.
He
play anywhere you want. I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife. He'll play anywhere.
CBW says he's out. Can't do it. Eron Sean put a big black or a big red X. TP, are you with me? Question mark said yes, he can if he goes more crazy.
Yeah, he means like Triple Crown.
Have to go nuts.
Yeah, when Triple Crown, maybe there's a chance there. It's interesting. White Sox are not playing today, but history could be coming for the White Sox. They lost 11 straight games now.
That's a bad baseball team.
5-24 on the road here. Oh. Like, when they're on the road, Dave, it's auto fire against them until further notice, right?
You can't. So what happens a lot of times in a book, especially it's baseball betting time now, right? Like we're in June. It's June 3rd. Again, thank you everybody for being here, hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button, all this stuff, because we're going to be here doing the show every day around this time, a little earlier, a little, this time, whatever.
Yeah.
Guys come in the book and try to find value on the dogs because the price keeps going up. I can't find too many reasons to ever take the White Sox, especially on the road.
I'm wearing this because tomorrow,
Chicago,
and they're on the road. 16-13 against the Cubs.
Cross town. I mean,
flexing against him, but it's Imanaga Day tomorrow.
Oh, bro.
I mean, isn't this like we're just hammering the Cubs tomorrow at all? Like,
so I didn't even look yet. I'm going to just make the line in my head. What are they? Minus 250?
90.
Holy crap.
I mean,
look ahead number. There you go.
You can't see, you can't see the total. You can't see the run line yet just because of the wind at Wrigley and whatnot. They won't put it up till probably day of, but it's 290 at FanDuel at the moment. So but run line, alt -2.5 run line. I mean, it's unbelievable how bad this team is. They've lost every single game during this 11-game losing streak on the run line. 9-2, 8-6, 6-4, 5-3, 4-1, 5-1, 7-2, 3-1, 12-5. Oh no, sorry, 4-3. They lost one. They won one game on the run line. So they're 1-10 and 6-3. 1-10 on the run line. And it's not even that egregious. It's -137 run line, -135. That's not even bad.
I'll have to wear the White Sox stuff tomorrow.
It's not even expensive.
Try to represent, because every book in the world's going to need them every day.
Every day.
For the
summer. Every
single
summer day.
Every single day.
Especially on the road.
Yeah.
On the road, they are an absolute train wreck, one of the worst baseball teams, and they're going to trade away any talent they may have. This team comes September. Again, what's the highest money line price you've ever seen?
-600.
It's coming. It's coming in September.
That's got to be bad. It
For
might
the White
come in
Sox.
August before the call-ups.
Maybe.
They get
maybe
better
August.
a lot of times in
Okay.
September.
So
They
in
get better with
August,
call-ups.
after the trade deadline, after they trade Robert and they trade Crochet and they trade the other kid they got on the mound, they got 3 guys that Major League Baseball teams are going to come after. Crochet, the other kid, and Robert. And everybody, and maybe other players too, but those 3 guys for sure get traded at the deadline.
Is -290 an uncomfortable lay?
I would just do run line. I wouldn't even bother with money line.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's an uncomfortable lay.
I mean, it's not 290, but I'd put it in a parlay. I mean, I just wouldn't lay $3.
Right.
It's just not worth
Right.
it. Like other ways to do it, to drop that juice down so you're not playing it. They're not trading Robert or Crochet. Okay, ATL Goose. That's not what they say in Chicago. We were there.
Wow.
Cub fans even said it. I mean, White Sox fans said it when we were there. Like they're gonna be worse after the deadline than they are right now. Fetty, thank you. Yes, Fetty, thank you, big business. Fetty will get traded as well. Crochet, Fetty, and Robert. See ya. There'll be Yankees, Dodgers, and Braves.
Wow.
Need something to draw the fans. ATL Coos, they had $2 ticket night already, and nobody went. We were there. $2 to get in, and nobody wanted to go.
Did you see Tommy Pham try to challenge the whole team? Like, it's frustrating.
Did you say we said after the game, I trained as a fighter for a reason? I was like, dude, like back up. Like, please just back up.
I don't know. Tommy's he's a local dude.
I know he is.
Guy.
Back up. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on.
You don't mess with them guys.
I'm not going to mess with them. You crush me, but don't talk about fighting people in the press. Like, come on, man. Either fight or don't fight, okay? I don't believe in guys who talk. Fight or don't fight. The best
Tommy's
time
trying to keep his job.
The best way to tell me you're not actually going to fight anybody is tell me in the press you're going to fight someone. Like, don't do that. Like, if you're actually going to fight somebody, go ahead and fight somebody.
I want to take a 20-second timeout because he had to come quick and leave.
Okay.
Call Me Jared just left the super chat, which if you guys want to do, we recognize them at the end of the show. I want to recognize Call Me Jared right there. Happy Monday, Brigade. Going to be on replay crew for a while. That's okay. We love you watching now. We love you watching later. Thank you, Jared. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Let's have a great finals for hoops and hockey. Let's have a great finals, both.
Please.
That'd be
Agreed.
awesome.
We need
if you guys want to do that, that's available right now. It's available every day when you come watch the show. There's Mr. Anderson. He just left this one. Kyrie, 25-1, Porzingis 50-1, or Derek White 60-1 long shot MVP bet.
Take Derek White.
You really on this Derek White thing, huh?
He's not going to win it, but Derek White's the most important player on Boston's team.
I mean, at those prices, you could take a shot with Derek White and Kyrie.
Yep, all three.
Just in case, I mean, if Dallas wins, I have to think it's Luka only. But
it's only Luka and Tatum. There's only 2 guys who win the MVP. It's Luka and Tatum. Everything else is just kind of it's a Hail Mary. One guy gets hurt or something, but only Luka or Tatum will win the MVP. They're lazy, guys. They're lazy. Best game in baseball today. Phillies are 41-19. They're against the central leader of Milwaukee.
Yes.
Have they named a pitcher yet for Milwaukee?
Yes.
Who is it? Oh, God, that's why. It's Wheeler.
Yeah.
Has number moved at all?
Minus 190 or minus 200.
Yep, hasn't moved much. Phillies today.
Yeah.
Good baseball game, though. On a crap day with nothing to watch, this is a good game.
Baltimore and Toronto's a good game with Gaussman pitching.
Toronto stinks.
They just beat the Pirates 2 out of 3. I watched every game.
Well, that's not saying a whole. Sorry, it's not saying a whole.
What are you talking about? The Buccos are getting it together.
Sure they are. Yeah, sure they are.
They got a big series this week with the Dodgers. Dodgers in Pittsburgh.
Not good for you.
I got a text like, hey, you want to come home and watch the Dodgers play the Pirates? No, I can't just go. Like, if it was like an hour, I would go.
Of course.
It's a 4-hour flight. I'm going to stay for 2 days. Skeens is pitching tomorrow or Wednesday. So Skeens, they get Jones and Glass now. I mean, it's a good matchup.
Great matchup.
Hold on that.
Skeens pitching, I mean, we saw it. I mean, it's going to be fun. And Jones, too, for that matter. I mean, Skeens and Jones are going to be fun for Pirate fans for the summer.
Secretly, Keller's having a better month than everybody.
He is, quietly.
When he pitches.
They score, too. But they score also when Skeens pitches, too. So they're 4-0 to the over when Skeens pitches. So.
McCutcheon's homered in all 4 of his starts.
How about that? Look at that.
So time McCutcheon to hit a home run when Skeens pitches.
Better to book it. Time. Doing the whole show, boys, inside of the Sports Grid and SiriusXM window. So just FYI on that.
Yes.
I like the Padres to win today at minus 135 against the Angels, who have lost 5 games in a row.
Yep.
And the dude that the Padres are throwing, this kid's sneaky. Matt Waldron.
Yep.
3-5 with a 4.26 ERA, but him on the road, 3.6 ERA, 2-1 on the year, 248 opposing batting average, and the guy has come out and won his last 3 starts. 3-1, 6-4, 4-0. Last start, 7 innings, no earned runs given up against the Miami Marlins.
I'll be watching this one. I already had the Padres circled on my list today.
Good.
So Padres is an option for one of I haven't decided yet what I'm wearing with Ranieri.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun time of year for me because it's just baseball, and I got a lot of the baseball gear. So I'm like,
a lot of it? You mean you have all of it?
I got a lot of it.
You have all
of it.
You have all of it.
I do. So I haven't decided yet whether Phillies is easy. I was going to wear that.
Okay.
The Padres was another one.
Yeah, Phillies run line
stuff, but that was the other one I was going
to. Phillies run line today, Padres money line, and then you want a plus money. I got plus money on the Rockies at plus 110 less than against Cincinnati.
Wow,
numbers moved. It's now pick 'em.
Yeah,
but the Rockies at home are 13-14. The Reds are 12-16 on the road.
Yeah,
and they're throwing this Andrew Abbott cat, who's he's okay. He's on the road. ERA of 3. It's been okay on the road, but last time out got rocked. 6 innings, 6 earned runs given up. The Rockies are a tough team to beat at home. I'll take the plus money home dog.
Yeah, I have to. I like your side, but I'm going to book it because this is going to be one where I feel like it's going to be one of those deluges of money. Like the Rockies are already favored in some spots.
Oh,
and they're going to end up more favored.
Okay,
because they keep betting them, and that'd be one of those ones I sit in the book and take all the bets and agree with most of them, and then the Reds win 6-2. And I'm going, okay. Yeah. So
how do you feel about the total? 10.5? I don't know.
In that game?
Maybe. I mean, Feltner's
already
been
11.
Yeah, so Feltner's last 3 starts, the combined runs have been 20, 19, and 15.
Probably over.
So if you want to play an over, it's not it. He says, Rainmaker says bet it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 1.5 runs Rockies is plus 250, friends.
There you go,
Francisco.
Show up.
All right. And they're betting under 11 according to Butchie.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't know. I like Rockies in the over. So we'll see that. Why rip Padres? What do you mean? RIP the Padres. Why?
What do you mean?
You can't tell me this is my life. So last year I couldn't miss in hockey. I couldn't bet baseball to save my life. This year in the NHL, I'm down 13 units. This year in baseball, I'm up 14 units. Go figure that out.
Baseball's been good.
Go figure that out. That right there is gambling to a T. Like that is sports betting. That is this ridiculous roundabout crazy. Like I couldn't hit a baseball bet to save my life. 64% now in baseball so far this year.
Can't believe you just said that out loud.
Why? I'm saying it on the juice too. I'm saying it. We've been tweeting it.
The gambling gods here.
I don't believe any of this nonsense.
No.
Don't believe any of this nonsense.
All right.
Favorite thing about today is what?
One unbelievable women's college World Series game on right now. Oklahoma's losing to Florida 7-3.
Ooh.
In a fifth, it'd be Oklahoma would then have to be beat by Florida again right after an elimination game.
Okay.
To see who goes on to play in the final series.
Interesting.
So this is it's been a fun weekend. It was the end of the Pac-12 with UCLA playing Stanford. UCLA lost. Stanford moved on. They get to play an elimination game later tonight. So we'll see how all that goes. But my favorite thing about today is I stopped at both the Tuscany and at the Silverton and had a couple visits this morning with people in the book. And it goes along with the Brigade Proxy Service, how much fun it is to hear the ramp up to football season and know that we're still talking, we're still showing up, we're still doing the show, and people are watching us in different places. Nice. Whereas today, when I went in to one of them, they're like, Dave, what's up? How are you? Good. How's the show? That was the first question. That was always the last question before.
Right.
And now it's the first question.
Nice.
So the show is going. The show is growing, all because of you guys, the audience. And also, I want to remind everybody that Sunday night we're doing Game 2, NBA Finals, live at minimum for the first half. If the audience has had enough of your shit by then, if Boston's leading by 12, nobody's going to want to stay and watch the rest of the show. So we're guaranteeing a first half and halftime, and we'll see how it goes. We may do the whole show.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you watching.
Started watching, Falchetti.
Nice job, man. Appreciate you. Two things for me. The first, yes, Stevie, we'll say this. Coach Greg McDermott and his family had a big day today. The Creighton University family announced that they are going to rename the practice facility the McDermott Center, which is really cool.
Whoa.
So it was a $13 million practice facility that opened up in 2014 that used to be called the Champion Center, and now it's the McDermott Center. So congrats to Doug, to Nick, to obviously Greg, to have this, Teresa as well, his wife, to get this. So yes, Anderson, it was a cool thing to see. I was really excited for Coach. I'm still, no one agrees with me, but I still think the court should be named after Dana Altman. I still think it should be Dana Altman Court, but nobody wants to listen to that. So when Dana's done coaching, they may name it Dana Altman Court. But we've seen other coaches, active coaches, actually get named. The court's named after them. So I hope Creighton does that. And I think they did this first for Coach Mack. He spent 14 years at the school. I mean, it's been incredible. Dana took the team to be eligible for the Big East. Mack has turned it into a powerhouse. Jades are going to be a top 15 team again next year. Look at their roster. Oh my. They're going to be loaded next year. But seriously, like, you think I was crazy last year? Wait till this year. Kalkbrenner's coming back. They got the guard coming back. They picked up a new kid from Texas Tech. Look out. Let's go. The
good thing about your Creighton fandom is that it's not annoying. I got asked twice this weekend.
Yes.
If I actually like you. And I said, what are you talking about? And they said, because I watch the show and I want to go through the things sometimes at him. And I'm like, well, this is why you watch the show.
Yep.
That's
the role. Yep.
I said, this is the first time Boston's been in the final.
Look out.
I said, it's going to get worse.
Oh, no.
They win. Thing, though, is fun. Like, I'm happy. This is good news.
Fine.
Coach Mack.
And then finally, this weekend was so amazing. I mean,
God.
If you guys missed this, Robert McIntyre won the event up the RBC Canadian Open with his father on the bag. He's a Scottish dude. He had to call his dad up and say, hey, I need you to come caddy for me, please. The guy is a greenskeeper. He called himself a grass cutter. I'm a grass cutter. And the dude goes and is on the bag for his son's first ever win at the RBC Canadian Open.
It's gonna make me cry thinking about it. I watched
So
the video 10
cool.
times. That was one of the most special moments in sports that I've seen in the last decade.
I mean,
it was awesome.
He was asked, will you have your dad go on the bag because you now qualified for the next 3 events? Would you want to have your dad on the bag the next 3 times? And he was like, Dad and I are getting on a plane and we're going home to party. He was like,
awesome.
He's like, we're going home. He's like, we're going back to the pub in Scotland and going throwing this down that I just won a PGA Tour event with my dad on the bag. It's pretty damn cool. If you haven't seen the video for CBS Sports, highly recommend it. It's by far my favorite thing about today is the genuine emotion, the genuine love for his son and what his son accomplished. The joy and the pride that dad had was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
If you watched it and weren't tearing up or choking up, then you probably got to check something inside because that hit everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a grass cutter. I love the line. I'm a grass cutter. He's a former greenskeeper. Just not meant to be there, but could read greens, obviously, because his kid putted the hell out of the ball up in Canada to get his first ever win, to get a whole big old check up there. National championship, essentially. That's the Canadian US Open. That's the Canadian Open. That's their biggest. That's the big check to win that thing. Congrats to Robert McIntyre and his family. He's Dave. I am Matt. We're wrapping everything up inside of the same show as Sports Grid and Sirius XM. We are back tomorrow, same time-ish for BVB. Matt and Dave. Hope to see you.
Go Mavericks.